The editorial boards of the New York Times and The Guardian have called on President Obama to pardon Edward Snowden, of course, the NSA contractor who exposed the administration's intrusive data mining operation. The Times published an editorial urging the government to give Snowden clemency, saying, "It is time for the U.S. to offer Mr. Snowden a plea bargain or some form of clemency that would allow him to return home, face at least substantially reduced punishment in light of his role as a whistleblower, and have the hope of a life advocating for greater privacy and far stronger oversight of the runaway intelligence community." The Guardian echoed the Times' sentiments in their own editorial, stating, "Snowden gave classified information to journalists even though he knew the likely consequences. That was an act of courage." Two newspapers, pretty big, important newspapers, the Times and the Guardian, calling for clemency. Does it matter?
Oh, it absolutely matters, because we're talking about eventually public opinion toward Edward Snowden. It hasn't been all that favorable since the leaks started coming out. But I think now that two federal courts have said what the government is doing with its spying regime is probably unconstitutional, Ed Snowden's really getting over the hump, and there is more favorable opinion toward what he does as more information comes out and it gets more scrutiny from the courts.
Absolutely. I think that it doesn't matter at all. I think that the Times and the Guardian will be seen as sympathetic papers that are pro-Snowden, but in the grand scheme of things, it won't sway public opinion. And even if it does, it certainly won't sway government action.
Well, we'll disagree on that. I think, though, even though they are liberal and inclined toward to be favorable to what he's done, I think it ultimately has the effect of moving the pile with papers around the country and their readership. And I think it's another instance where public opinion can definitely evolve. It had basically been mixed and it's partisan, but I think as the courts sift through this stuff and find more and more things to be possibly unconstitutional, more people will be glad that he's done what he's done.